What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am here with the 2025 Lexus NX 350 F Sport. Lexus has sent me this NX 350 to keep for an entire week so that I could get real familiar with it and give you guys the most thorough review possible. Now, if you're interested in how this car drives, I have two test drive videos that I've already posted that I'll have linked up on the screen at the end of the video. So let's get right into it and start this review under the hood. What we have here is a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It puts out 275 horsepower, 315 pound-feet of torque, and that's paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 takes 6.6 seconds. Fuel economy ratings are combined 24 miles per gallon. That's 21 in the city, 28 on the highway, and the capacity of the fuel tank is 14.5 gallons. All right, now let's check out this front end. The F Sport gets its own unique styling in comparison to the other trims. The signature Lexus spindle grille is front and center. Now, on some other models like the new RX, they have changed it up a bit, but this still has that classic Lexus styling. The surround and the insert is all gloss black. It's got this really intricate pattern inside. Now, there is some debate going on about whether or not Lexus is overstyled. It used to be a lot more conservative in years gone by. They used to have a reputation for being geared more towards an older crowd, but in recent years, they've been trying to lure in younger people like myself. And I have to say, I really like the way this car looks. Now, if you're an older person and you drive a Lexus and you have an older model and want to get a new one, I'd say there might be a good chance you might not like the styling of the newer ones. But again, this is the F Sport. Some of the lower trim levels are still a bit more subdued, so they don't all look like this. Now, the gloss black and that spindle design carries over onto the side of the car too. And you can see we have LED fog lights tucked in at the very bottom. I actually really like this silver accent that's along the bottom. It's not glossy, it's a matte silver, but I think it works. It helps break up all the dark a little bit. The Lexus logo is front and center, nice and large right there. You have your forward-facing camera tucked in right underneath. And now let's check out these headlights. These headlights on this F Sport model are absolutely gorgeous. These are the optional triple beam LED headlight. It's 3 projector beams. They also have cornering. When you turn the steering wheel at night, the lights do shift to the side so you can see what's coming in the direction that you're turning into. But just look at those 3 projector beams on the inside. Beautiful. It has the boomerang shaped daytime running light and then your LED turn signal right above. Now on this F Sport, we get the washer. And now inside this little door right here, there's actually a washer. There's a nozzle that sticks out and actually sprays down the headlights just in case you find yourself in a spot where it's either muddy or you get salt from the road, like all the snow we're having here right now. But that does wash off your headlights to make them more functional. Now, in terms of actually keeping the car clean, well, you get overspray from it. So it's not really meant to clean it for aesthetic purposes, but more so for functionality. Now, just for a second, let's talk about the color. This color is called Copper Crest. It's new for 2025 for the NX, but it is on some other models like the Lexus RX. It's a beautiful color. It's really unique and it's just different, and I think the camera doesn't really do it justice. You got to see it in person. If you have seen it in person, you know what I'm talking about. It's just unlike anything else. It's like a really bright rose gold, and I kid you not, everywhere I've driven in the past week, it just turns heads everywhere you go. All right, so now in the side profile, there are some improvements that you get on the F Sport model in comparison to the lower trims. The first being the wheel arches. As you can see, the wheel arches are paint matched to the rest of the car. On other trim levels, you just get the flat black like you have going along the bottom. You also get gloss black power folding mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. We also get black accents on the door handles, and all 4 door handles also have lights on the inside for illumination at night. Now, the window trim, while the B and C pillars are gloss black, which is nice, you get this smoked gunmetal dark gray finish that goes around the window trim as opposed to bright shiny chrome. There's also blacked out roof rails up at the top. And both fenders are gonna get F Sport badging, of course. And now taking a look at the wheel and tire setup, this is a blacked out 20-inch wheel exclusive to the F Sport trim. This is riding on Bridgestone Alenza 02 all-season tires, and these are run flat tires. There is no spare tire included, and the size is 235/50. And now turning to the rear, I actually like this double light bar design. So instead of it just being one that goes across, it's kind of split. The part at the sides kind of come down a little bit, but you still have the bar going across the middle. Now on the taillights, we do have full LED. Turn signal, brake light, tail light, the reverse light is LED as well. And I actually also like the way they switched up the rear emblem and have it spell Lexus as opposed to just the logo. So I like how this sharp crease kind of turns into this crease in the rear here, and all the body lines I think just work really well together. Same with this part that comes down here, and then it's kind of in line with this line here. You can see the bumper. We have 4 parking sensors, well technically 6 if you count the ones on the side. The parking sensors, the rear cross traffic alert all works really well because there are a lot of sensors on this car. Down at the bottom on the bumper, flat black with more of that silver accent like we saw up on the front bumper. Now I wish that this rear bumper was gloss black. It would look a bit more high end than this flat black. It's a little cheap looking, I have to say. And now let's head into the cargo area. Now on this, you can just put your foot down and the trunk will open right up. All right, now in the cargo area, this has the optional cargo cover so that no one can look in the window and see what you have back here. Off to the side, we have a small pocket right here, and up here we have a hook and a 12-volt outlet. Small LED lighting right there. Another one up here and on the other side as well. Now for the NX, this is the non-hybrid variant, and it also doesn't have a spare tire. So what that does increase though is the amount of cargo space under the floor. So we have a deep space right here. This also has an optional first aid kit in there as well. But you can see tons of storage there, and even more in the back. You have some tools back there. But if you don't mind the fact that there isn't a spare tire, it's very practical and there's a ton of room. So the way you see it like this, with the seats all up, there's 22.7 cubic feet of cargo volume. There is no button to electronically drop the second row seats. You do have to manually pull the lever up at the top. And after you do fold down the second row seats, you then have a pretty generous 46.9 cubic feet of cargo space.
And a quick shout out to this video sponsor, FitCam X. FitCam X is a custom hardwired 4K dash cam that is made for your specific car's interior with no exposed wires showing. And it connects to your phone via the FitCam X app. And they're offering all my viewers 10% off everything on their site using promo code OPTICAL. Link in the description.
So now we are inside the 2025 NX 350 F Sport. Let's take a look around. So starting up on the dash, soft touch all the way to the back. It's very nicely padded here. It's not leather, but kind of looks and almost feels like it too. That same material carries over to the upper part of the door panel. As you can see here, 3 memory settings for the driver. We have the speaker grill for the Mark Levinson audio system that we'll take a listen to in a bit. We have leatherette here on the side panel with white contrast stitching, also on the armrest. One of my favorite features of the newer Lexus models is this interior door handle. So let me close the door. Now this works 2 ways. It works as a traditional handle if you need it, but mainly it's just a button. So if you push it in, the door opens right up. Nice and easy. Now, Lexus vehicles are very reliable, but in the unlikely occurrence that the electronics fail or whatever, and then the button no longer works, it does work as a manual lever. You can see up there, it says pull 2 times to open, 1, 2. That way you won't get trapped inside if the electronics fail. Now, the lower part of the door panel, you can fit like 1 cup there. The storage pocket isn't huge, but it is hard plastic at the bottom. Now, depending on competitors you compare it to, like for example, the RDX. The RDX also has a hard bottom, but if you compare it to like the German rivals, like BMW, Mercedes, Audi, those usually have soft touch at the bottom, but this does cost less than those cars, so just something to keep in mind. On this F Sport model, we get aluminum door sills, but also aluminum pedals. The aluminum pedals actually look really cool at night when the ambient lighting is kind of reflecting off of it. All right, now let's talk about the seats. And the seats are probably my biggest issue with this interior. Now, they look like pretty nice leather seats, but they are not leather. They're actually New Luxe leatherette. Now, don't get me wrong, they're comfortable, they're perforated. It even has an embossed F Sport logo in the headrest, but it should have real leather seating. It shouldn't be leatherette in a car that costs nearly 60 grand. Listen, they did a good job with it, I'll give them that, but still, leatherette in a fully loaded luxury car just doesn't make sense to me. But the front seats are heated, and it's also optioned with ventilated seats too. You do get power lumbar, but no thigh supports or anything additional like that. All right, now the steering wheel. Unlike the seats, the steering wheel actually does have real leather. So again, I don't know why they chose to put the real leather just on the steering wheel, but not on the seats, but okay. But there's different textures to it. There's like a solid leather here. Then you have like perforated leather on the sides. Nice contrast stitching going along the inside. Of course, we have another F Sport badge right there on the wheel. Now, I'm a big fan of the steering wheel. I like the Lexus logo and how it has like a matte finish instead of the shiny finish. The horn button's also nice and soft. It's not just like hard plastic. This wheel is power tilting and telescoping. You do get some nice paddle shifters on the back. Now, the way the buttons work on the steering wheel is quite interesting. They're actually touch control. They're touch sensitive. So when I slide my finger around on the buttons, you can see not only on the digital gauge display, but also comes up on the head-up display as well. So if you have an NX without the head-up display, it will still show up inside the gauge cluster. Now, here in the center of the interior is this massive 14-inch infotainment touchscreen. Now, this does not come standard. You do have to pay additional for this screen. Now, there is an optional package for this car called the F Sport Handling Luxury Package. So included in that is this 14-inch screen, along with those triple beam LED headlights, the power tailgate with the kick sensor, this nice digital rear view mirror, the ventilated front seats, along with the ambient lighting that I'll cut to a clip here at nighttime just to show what the ambient lighting looks like. It's really nice. You can change the colors. Just creates a nice vibe at night. And also those cornering lights that turn with the steering wheel so you can see what's coming in whatever direction you're about to go. And that package altogether will run you an additional $2,865. So as you can see here, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The standard screen is only 9.8 inches, so stepping up to 14 is a pretty noticeable difference. But I do have to say, it's not exactly a full 14-inch because you have your climate controls here taking up pretty significant part of the bottom. But as far as the AC controls, at least they're always there, so you don't have to go looking for them. But going through like the different menu items, there's a menu bar that's on the left side of the screen. Here we have a native cloud-based navigation system. You have your audio page for your different sources and stuff. Phone. Then you have all your vehicle info right here. Your all-wheel drive system, trip computer, driving assistant. You have all your different settings for the different systems, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, road sign assist, all that stuff. Tire pressure monitor. Got your all-wheel drive system, and then any kind of alerts that you might get. Now the camera system, hit the button there. You can see you get a 3D model of the car. It even has the color match, so that copper crust color is shown there on the screen. Now you throw it in reverse. You have your 360 camera off to the left side, and then you have your backup camera. Not the clearest resolution on the backup camera, but it's suitable. Trajectory lines and distance markers. This NX 350 F Sport has a 17-speaker Mark Levinson audio system. Let's take a quick listen. The center console, nice leatherette padding going along the side. I like the way the stitch work kind of comes up and around. So nice soft place to put your knee there. It's padded on both sides, so passenger as well. Now as far as connections go, You have a USB-C, a USB-A, and a wireless charger. Now you can see this thing is actually a drawer. When you go underneath, more stuff. 2 more USB-C ports and a 12-volt outlet. So they got you covered with connectivity up front. That's 4 outlets and a 12-volt up front is quite good. I believe these 2 additional USB-Cs are new for 2025. I don't think they had it before. Wireless charger has worked great, no issues. Sometimes in some cars I have issues with the wireless charger. Happy to report this one, no problems. Now this has this tiny little baby shifter. It's kind of funny, but it's easy to use, simple enough. You go out to the left and then forward for reverse, out to the left and down for drive, and then you just hit the button for park. Now inside the center console opens up both ways, but inside it's lined with felt and it's a pretty okay size. It's not the deepest, but certainly adequate. And inside the glove box also lined with felt, and I'd say standard size, maybe a little bit on the big size, so good for storage. This car overall is just good amount of storage space, and I almost forgot there's actually another small one right here, and yes, lined with felt. Up above, we have a nice, really large panoramic moonroof. It goes all the way into the second row. Lets in a lot of nice natural light. So now I'm in the back seat right behind where I'd have the driver's seat adjusted for myself at 6 feet tall. And I have to say, I don't think there's quite as much room in here as some competitors. So as you can see, I have maybe like 2 inches of legroom to spare before my knees touch the back of the seat. Other cars like the Acura RDX, I find to be a good amount roomier than this one. But let's see what you do get back here. You get a pocket behind each seat, which is nice. Down in the center, got 2 air vents, and down below a 12-volt outlet and 2 USB-C ports. Over on the door panel, it's gonna be identical to the one up front. The same soft touch at the top, speaker grille, leatherette, same door handle as well. And the armrest folded down, nice and soft. You get 2 cup holders. You can see the blue ambient lighting illuminating underneath that section of the door panel right there. But one thing I think is notably missing from this car, at least at this price point, is rear heated seats. I think also maybe some sunshades on the rear windows would have been nice too. So you do get the connectivity in the rear, but not much more. MSRP of this 2025 Lexus NX 350 F Sport all-wheel drive with all its options is $58,010. Big thank you to Lexus for sending me this NX 350 for this review. Let me know your thoughts on the NX 350 F Sport down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let me know down in the comments what other vehicles you want to see on the channel next. And be sure to follow @Optical Automotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.